Hey! It's me, Roy Story once again. It's about 3 in the morning. This is actually pretty late even for me right now. I was celebrating a friend's birthday party. FGC friend of mine. They just had a big birthday party. Was playing with him. I'm exiting San Francisco right now, but I was just thinking about sort of. I really hate to say celebrity death, because I hate referring to someone like this as like a celebrity. But I was thinking about the death of Richard Lyons of Negativland. He passed away couple 2 or 3 days ago at the age of 57, and it was about like 12. He passed away about like 12 hours before Prince did, and not that Prince's death wasn't tragic, or that didn't make me sad either. But Richard Lyons was the one that startled me more and sort of hit me a lot closer. I figured I'd like talk a bit about him, Negativland, and how much he's influenced me a lot. One of the big things about Negativland is that this is like, they're not really sort of like a band, like how take somebody like I'm trying to think, like take somebody like Metallica. If you see them live, it'll always be like fucking James Hetfield there, and Lars Ulrich will be there, and all the usual like four man group. Negativland isn't really a band. It's more of a collective, and there will be people that'll be in and out of it, and there will be faces that'll be well known. So, like within the past year, there have been 3 deaths in Negativland. First was Ian Allen, then Don Joyce, then Richard Lyons, and I think especially the last 2 deaths of the band have really hit fans the hardest. And it's not that Ian Allen's death wasn't tragic either, but he'd been like inactive from the group for like a long time, and I mean it was definitely still tragic, and they did a nice like tribute show to him and all, but like Don Joyce was especially a key member of the group, and Richard Lyons was, and to be fair, Richard hadn't he sort of like left the group in the early mid 2000s. Apparently around this time he started developing melanoma complications, and this was one of the reasons. But he was still like a huge name of the band, especially for like the older infamous Over the Edge radio material. But let me tell you about how I really discovered Richard Lyons. Well, I first discovered Negativland when I was about 14 or 15. I was really reading a lot into quote unquote censored art, band music, all that. There's like a certain age where you're like, where you look up stuff like that, because it's all it's all shocking and stuff. But when I first heard about Negativland, it was about a video they did. Well, not a video. They did a song. Well, was it a song they did first, or was it a video? I forgot. But anyways, there was a video called "Gimme the Mermaid," and what it was, it's like it's various Negativland SoundCloud stuff, and a very angry phone message by, was it Greg Ginn was it one of the guys from Black Flag? I forgot. Somebody related to SST who left like a really, really angry phone message. Like, it's actually like really intense to listen to. And so there was a guy who worked at Disney, and without permission, he snuck in late at night and he went to the animation booths and he made a music video around it. And it's like actual animation cells from like The Little Mermaid that he synced up with the video. It's like fucking nuts, and I don't know if he got punished for it or not, but it's like the fact that he got away with it was crazy. And so I mean, I started getting into Negativland a bit after that. Like I got like Escape from Noise and Helter Stupid, a lot of sort of like key quote unquote like studio albums. Helter Stupid, you know, Escape from Noise, like I already said that. Well, I didn't know a lot about the Over the Edge radio show that they did every week. And one CD of theirs I got that I had never heard of before. I got it. I used to browse Rasputin records a lot, especially the one in San Jose, because I had these. I had like these weekly. Sort of like classes in the area that wasn't like school related, but was like outside like electoral interest sort of thing. And like after most classes, like my mom and I would go to Rasputin's, and they had like a ton of CDs there for like super cheap, like $2 or $3, and it was like a lot of stuff I was really into, all the more obscure and punky stuff and metal stuff and all that. And there was a Negativland 2 CD album there called Dick Vaughn's Moribund Music of the 70s. And you know, I expected like a Negativland album with like weird mashup material and sound collage and all that. When I got home and listened to it, I was just hearing like this radio show. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, it took me a while before I truly understood what it was. So what happened was, on one night of Over the Edge, and they did not tell anybody about this ahead of time, was that they completely changed the format of it to be like this generic radio station. Like it would be like the California Superstation for all your 70s hits. And the joke was that it was about 70s nostalgia. And keep in mind that this was in 1983, and doing a show about 70s nostalgia was seen as like really, really fucking silly. It'd be like if today, if like in 2016, you did like a nostalgia show for like fucking Fly Like a G6 or something, you know? Like it was like it's funny because it's like 70s nostalgia is like run of the mill these days. Maybe it's kind of faded out a bit, but like back then, it's like people were like, why would you do like 70s nostalgia? And that was like sort of the joke about it. And so like you had all these people like calling up really pissed off. Like there was this guy who called up and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna come over to the KPFA station, I'm gonna slash all the tires on the car over there. And he's like threatening to like suicide bomb the station. And the thing is, you can't tell whether he's joking or if he's actually like serious about it, because he's that mad that Over the Edge got replaced with this fucking California Superstation shit. And like the more I listened to it, like the more I kind of got the joke. And it was like it like I was like fucking like obsessed with that that album. Like if you want to know how obsessed I am, my YouTube name Roy Story, aka like the name I use in a lot of other places, is from that album. Because there was this guy from the Bay Area who did a sports show in the 80s named Roy Story, And what Richard Lyons would do was prank call him constantly and just fucking harass him and just like play like all these sound clips. And like Roy Story would get like super tight about it. And you know, like when like when you have like an old family member who's like trying to mock you, but it's like in this old dated style and it just comes off corny. Like he did like all those old insults like, well, if he had another brain he'd be a halfwit, you know. And it's like it was just like I fucking loved it, and nobody else I knew who I'd play it for would find it funny. And it was just it was just one of those things I had, or I'd find it like the funniest fucking thing ever, and like nobody else would. And they also did this prank where they said that Ringo Starr was dead, but the joke was that they didn't really know any of Ringo Starr's songs, so they just play a bunch of like Beatles and Paul McCartney's Wings for like the tribute show. Like if you've never heard, I'm getting out of the way, good bro. I'm getting out of the way. Sorry. If you've never heard any of Negativland's like Over the Edge, I would suggest more about music of the 70s, because it's sort of like I'd say it's like the quote unquote easiest album of Over the Edge to get into, so to say. And if you get like the joke that I'm saying ahead of time, I think it'd probably be easier for you to understand. So anyways, let me move on from more about music of the 70s, because that wasn't the only thing he did. He would also have these two characters, Pastor Dick and was it Dale Embry? No, I want to say it was Dale Embry, unless it was like a different name. And so they did like a religious show, and like it was just like Pastor Dick would be like this generic, like, you know, like neoconservative Christian, like radio preacher, and he'd play like this old Christian lady named Dale Embry with a voice like, as you read the Bible, you must, like, it was just like, it was pretty funny. There is a he did like a bunch of shows with those characters. There is a compilation album. It has some pretty funny stuff. Like he plays like this like Mormon drama album, and he does this thing where he's accused of stealing money from this lady's purse, and he tells people to call in and confess their sins, and depending on how much they sinned, they have to like donate that much money or something. It's kind of hard to explain. He also did I don't know if this was a one-off or if he did it multiple times. He did a character called Dick Goodbody, and he did like this car show. I think that one was a bit hit or miss. It did have some funny stuff on it though, like he'd have a trivia show and he just asked these like fucked up questions related to cars, like what was Hitler's car model and shit like that. So you know, Richard Lyons was like doing that on and off on Over the Edge radio until mid 2000s. I think that was when his melanoma started to kick in and he had to like leave the group. There was like a video of him from like 2001 on the show, and you know he never really appeared with the group again, sadly. Like I saw Negativland twice in 2005, 2006, and I was like really hoping he'd come back, but sadly he never did. And it's just a huge bummer, especially when you like knowing like the people you grew up with and the people you really looked up to are starting to really hit the later age. And he was young. He was Prince's age, which is like really really fucking weird. But like, I mean, he was still rather young, but it's like one thing to keep in mind. Like, if if you have like, if you like a certain, I want to say a certain band from, I'd say 80s or even early 90s, you have to keep in mind generations are like passing really quickly, and sooner or later we're not going to have them much anymore. And sadly, this is one that really hit me hard when I found out. I found it out like when I woke up Thursday morning. Like, I mean, I was woken up by my mom texting me and saying like Prince died, all that, and I was like getting up, looking at my phone, looking at Facebook, all that, and then I see Negativland posting about Richard Lyons. I'm like, wait, Richard Lyons, like, it's one of those things. And let's see, this has been going on for like fucking forever. I don't really have a lot more to say about Richard Lyons, but wherever he is in wherever his soul is in the stratosphere, whatever happens to us after we die, if he hears us, thank you very much for providing me and all the people who listen to Negativland and Over the Edge over the years with just wonderful material and very, very creative humor that honestly like really influences me today, and part of what I even use in some of my videos and stuff. And the world's just a lot worse without you now. So I don't really know how to end this. Listen to more about music of the 70s. Listen to him insult James Gabbert. That was great. All right, talk to you guys later.